Hello everybody, my name is Scatter. Welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Before we get into the meat of this episode, I have two problems that I want to talk about, and if anybody knows how to fix them, it would be greatly appreciated. So, first of all, well, let's, in order to show this off, let me just turn on one of my excavators, right? So, clearly this is going to drain a lot of power, right? Because that's how they take up a lot of power, and I'm not, really making that much power. And so it should be draining power, right? The only generation I have are a couple water wheels, 8 of those thermoelectric things downstairs, right? So this should be draining, but the thing is it's not. And this can run, you say maybe it's draining really slowly. Well, first of all, it should be draining a lot faster than this, but I can leave this for as long as I want. It's not going to drain. And then you think like, oh, well, it must be a bottleneck somehow. Because like this, the power comes in here and it only goes out through this side and then it goes up through the excavator that way. You think, oh, it's a bottleneck somewhere. Well, let me show you. It's definitely not a bottleneck, because if on this same line I put this HV capacitor, which is full, and I can put this on output, now this drains. So clearly it's capable of accepting enough power to drain, right? There's no bottleneck here. It must just be, for some reason, the cube itself does not want to drain. The redstone thing is disabled. Side config, eject on. I don't know if that matters. I did try turning it off, I think, and it didn't really affect anything other than I don't think it's just draining at all now. But yeah, it is output there, so I really don't know what could be going on with that. If anybody has any idea, please let me know. And then I guess the other thing is I thought this was a problem, but then I thought I fixed it, but now I clearly didn't. So this steel here should be getting output to my drawer system, and I had a full stack in there. I had a full stack in there for a really long time, and I had the steel set up in a compacting drawer right here, and it was there for a long time. So I was like, well, maybe it's too far away from the drawer controller, even though I counted it's 11 blocks away, and I thought that they could be up to 12, and I was like, well, maybe that's the problem. But then, so I took a steel ingot and I put it in one of these slots up here that's obviously closer to the controller, and then it suddenly just started working. All the steel poured out of it. So then I took the compacting drawer and I moved it to here, and now it kind of stopped again. I don't know if this is if it's gonna start extracting the steel again. I don't know if it's just something with the compacting drawers. I really have no idea what's going on with that. So again, any ideas at all, please let me know, because it's a pretty frustrating problem. It's similar to what was going on with the sulfur before, I think, except it doesn't seem to be kind of unclogging when everything runs through. Anyway, so basically what I've been up to is I sampled some more of the chunks around this area. I found a redstone chunk all the way over here. You can see these dirt columns I used as power poles. And I got a few stacks of redstone ore from that. I processed it all. You get 12 each, so I didn't really need that much of it. I have like 3k redstone right now. I'm probably going to get more, but, it's fine. But that should be fine for now. And then I tore down that excavator and I moved it over here to a gold vein that I found, right? So the cool thing about gold veins is they have gold, copper, and nickel, which are all things, mainly the gold and the copper, but also the nickel, that I need in pretty large amounts. So I let this run kind of overnight. The thing with this is, and it's going to be a really big reason to expand my ore processing system very soon, is that when you have just iron coming in, like I did from the excavator, well, I had iron and sulfur coming in from there, right? So what I could do there is the iron goes to the ore processing machine, sulfur goes straight to the drawers, and they both kind of just get processed in parallel. With the gold and the copper, then basically this was backed up with gold all night, and then the copper was all here, and then it just didn't really work. I had a lot of gold, but I didn't really have that much copper. So then I manually turned off the excavator so I wouldn't get anything else coming in, and then I just let everything kind of run through, and that's still what it's doing. There's still a shitload of gold here to process, and a bunch of nickel as well. That's coming in, but eventually that'll stop. But For now, it's going to keep going, but yeah, we do have, as you can see, quite a bit of these things, you know, almost 4,000 gold and way more to come. 3,000 copper, and we can just kick on the excavator whenever we need more. So I'll probably leave that excavator there. By the time I need more redstone, it'll probably be easy enough to make another one, so I'll just put that all the way back over there. Osmium is going to be the next thing, though, that I need another excavator set up for. I'm not sure at the moment if I'm going to tear down this one or build a new one. I'll probably just build a new one, because steel is pretty... whatever the opposite of rare is, not quite common, abundant. Steel is pretty abundant, so it's not going to be a huge issue. Anyway, so back to the issue, the matter at hand. This is the inscriber that I made before. I kind of reconfigured things a little bit here so I could automate it a little bit between episodes here. And basically, yeah, so I had to move it because this thing really cares about which side that you use to pull stuff in and push stuff out, and it doesn't have any config like the mechanism machines. This is just, this has to be input on the top side, this has to be bottom, this has to be left, and this has to be right. So basically that means you have to power it from the back and you need access to the bottom, so I lifted it up like this. And basically what I have right now is kind of a shitty way of doing it because I made a bunch of these ingredients first, and then I decided to kind of automate this a little bit. So it's just pulling those both in, and basically by pure chance, I mean, not chance, like there's a reason for it, but it can get messed up if it doesn't keep running smoothly. But it just pulls out one of the gold ones and then one of the silicon ones, and they go to the top and bottom respectively, so that just kind of works out that way. I did get this messing up, and I got like 2 gold ones, and it backed up the system, but as long as everything goes smoothly, then it's all fine, and then they get pulled out to this other chest here. So I have a bunch of these, maybe too much, but the reason I made a bunch of the gold ones is I basically have infinite gold, and I have no, comparatively, Certus or diamonds, right? Which is what you need to make the other things. So, but we definitely do need to make some of those. But in order to, I'm going to need to make a lot of these circuits going forward, right? Basically an unending amount, because you need the circuits to make the various, you know, storage systems and stuff from AE2. So there's the demand for these is, for all intents and purposes, never going to stop. So that is something that we need to do. So we need at least 5 inscribers for a system for this, right? Because we need 1 inscriber for the silicon base for all these, 1 for each of the gold, Certus, and diamond circuits, and then 1 for putting them together like this. So that's 5 in total, so I need 4 more. Luckily, they're not too hard to make. I just need some steel plates, some pistons, some fluics, and some energized Certus. And I was mistaken yesterday when I said the thing about kind of exponentially growing them. I'm not sure what I was thinking there, but you definitely can't do that. It doesn't work like that. So you can turn a regular fluix crystal into 2 pure fluix crystals, but they don't. You can't just keep multiplying them like that, right? The pure Certus quartz, the pure fluix crystals don't turn into 2 pure fluix crystals, and so on. It's just these, and then they double. And then for some things you need the regular ones and not the pure, so kind of sucks, but it's whatever, I guess. But there's a Certus vein out there, so you know, that's another thing I'm probably gonna have to get an excavator set up for, but not a big deal. And I made a bunch of pistons in advance of this here because I knew I would need a bunch. So right now I'm making 4 inscribers, so that's going to be 8 of those, 8 sticky pistons, and then I should be good. 4, there we go. So I'm not 100% sure. I have like a very fuzzy mental image in my head of how I'm going to have this set up. So basically I want hoppers going into 3 of them for the gold, diamond, and Certus, and then they can go into like either the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter, of a 4th one, and then the 5th will just be silicon that'll always be pumping into there. So I think I'm going to clear this out a little bit, run some cabling through the floor over here so that I can kind of embed this into the wall, because I think having it go vertical is going to be the only way to really do it. So let me make some room for that and be right back. Okay, so I have the cable running over here from over there, and so let's do it this way, okay? So the 3 that are making the ingredients only need access to the left and to the right, right? So I think those should be fine to put here, like that. I don't know why they stick out more than I expected them to, but it's totally fine. There's plenty of room here. And then each of these can have a hopper sitting there. So for one of these, this will be gold, one of them will be Certus, and one will be diamond. And I think that's the order that I'll go ahead and do it in. Not that it really matters too much. So I'll just put gold in the top one, Certus in there, calculation, and then engineering press, which needs diamonds, can go in there. So then that will go there. These are all powered. And then each of these will output into the, say the top, because I don't think it really matters too much, of one, right? And then for the other one, we'll have the silicon going into the bottom, right? So let's do that this way. Yeah, and then I'll have the other one right here. Yes, and then I'll just grab it from here. I think these are all finished now. Almost. I mean, maybe I could probably just let those finish, but whatever, it's fine. There. And now these just need a bunch of piping to connect up to them. So let me grab the piping. Yeah, I'm really glad to get to the point, like, you know, definitely not anywhere near post-scarcity yet, I don't think, but we're definitely to the point where it's a lot of things are very cheap to make, right? Like things that need steel maybe would have been kind of a pain before. Now not so much. So that's really super good. And so yeah, so we can put that, and that, and then also there and there. So the way that these need to be connected is like so. So this is going to be the silicon one. So that's not connected to anything else. That's just its own line. And you are going to be pulling up to there. And then these, you are going to be putting into the top of this. Oh no, this needs to be moved over a little bit, doesn't it? Because you also need redstone to go in on the left. Yeah, well, you also need silicon to go in on the left, so this would have needed to move over regardless. So that's fine. That just doesn't need to be there, and that doesn't need to be there. You just have to be here. That kind of looks nicer anyway, I think. So then that will go there, and that will go there. And then same as before, we'll do that kind of thing. And then these will go into the top there. This hopper there, and then this definitely doesn't want to be connected to that. And then same there. So I think this is the kind of final setup, right? And then out of this, you can extract directly to the storage system, which is really convenient. And I knew that this was going to be, I knew there was a good reason to make this line run through the ceiling here, because now, as soon as I disconnect that, because it's not supposed to be on the same line, you will just go straight into the storage system whenever you make these circuits. So this, I think, is a really nice sort of automation system for this. Let's just get them all fitted out with servos. So you can have redstone and no redstone and no redstone and no redstone. So this is it. And then this is the only other thing you need to be able to pull out. So this works, I believe. I think this works. So for now, I have 7 of these left over, right? I can just keep redstone in here as much as I want, right? Because there's no danger of like it filling up the other slots, of course. This stuff is going to go in the top, and this stuff is going to go in the bottom. So this should just be making it, and then it should pull out just fine, because there is space in my storage system for this. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. And then all I need to do to automate this is just throw all of the things that I need for the ingredients into the correct hoppers, and away we go, which is really, really cool. I'm super excited to have this set up and kind of all done, so I can just make as many circuits as I want. Let's get back to the quests though quickly, because I know there are a few of these. So this wants a couple of the raw printed engineering circuits for that. So I mean, we're good on diamonds overall, but you know, I'm probably not going to use all of them for this. I'll just make maybe half a stack right now. So then diamonds were on the bottom. I'll make 16 I'll see what they're used for. Diamonds are still a little precious, I think. And then I will just grab a couple of these right out, just for the sake of the quest. Which screws up the automation a little bit, but that's fine. But there's the quest done. We get a few raw materials in return. Yeah, definitely going to take the diamonds there. 16 gold is literally nothing right now. And now it just wants a few completed ones, right? So yeah, so I would have to, like, really I want to keep this stocked with silicon at all times, right? There's no reason not to do that. And then I need to keep the other one stocked with redstone, which is also not that bad. Because, like, alternatively, I could just get the silicon and the redstone for exactly how many circuits I want. But, like, it's not going to overproduce them. Like, this might as well just be my storage for silicon and a few stacks of redstone because, you know, it's going to make one at a time. Like, it's not going to be a huge waste of materials sitting in a buffer, right? Or, like, use, like, intermediary materials, like, sitting in a buffer, not being used for anything. This is not taking the circuit, the engineering circuit, right? It would be this that it's not taking because it doesn't have a spot in the system. I will fix that. I'm not sure why. Oh, yeah, that just needs the press. Okay, should have figured I was forgetting something, but now this should pull out, so the servo shouldn't be red anymore. Maybe give it a second to update. Maybe, unless it's something else that's stuck in there, but I don't know what else would possibly be stuck in there. Unless one of these machines, like, stealing it? Yeah, it must have been something from over there that before I put the servo, it was trying to use that as an output or something. Maybe there's, like, if that's going to be, I'll keep an eye on that. If it becomes a problem, then I'll have to do something about it, but I also don't know what I would do about it. Why is that? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's not... This is set up totally wrong. Okay. One moment. This needs to be here, and oh god, no. Oh god. No, don't connect there and don't connect there. That just needs to be that, and then you can have your torch back, and the servo goes there. It's going to be worth it in the end. It's a little bit of busy work, you know, but it's going to be all worth it in the end. Now this, I'm very confident in saying this is going to work now. I'm extremely confident. And this is going to go straight to the bottom here. Yeah. And then, okay, I guess I see why that landed in there, but it's funny that it did. Okay. There we go. So are you done? No, you still have a bunch of these left. So you need a bunch of these silicon. Yeah, there's nowhere to put, like, just to throw intermediates into the system, which is totally fine, though. So I'll just run up and get a couple of these engineering circuits that are done. I guess the one that is. Didn't I have another one? I guess not. Oh god, what if those are going somewhere else on the line? That would be awful. Wait. Yeah, that would be awful. Where are these going? Please go right. Please go right. Please go right. Okay, thank God. It is going there. Maybe it's just a little bit slow. But, like, it wouldn't be input. None of these are valid inputs, right? So I don't think it could possibly be going there. Although maybe I do need to fix something there. I mean, I need to put, like, some sort of attachment here that says you can only go this way. But I would think it's smart enough to do that on its own, and right now it seems like it is. Yeah, so there's a few more of those. Okay, well, crisis averted, I guess, and wants a few of those in my hand as well. So there we go. All right, that cleared up the inventory pretty well. Some more of these intermediates, which honestly is more annoying than anything for reasons aforementioned. But so now we need an ME controller. These are actually luckily pretty damn easy to make. So all it takes is some pure fluix, which is cheaper than fluix because they make 1 to 2 into the pure ones, and then one of those, and then some skystone blocks and a couple of these. So it only wants one. I don't like. I'll need more of these in the future. I think for now one is plenty. But they're super easy to make anyway, so really not much of a reason to really care too much. But it just needs some skystone blocks, which is just some smelted up skystone, which you can do really easily. And then grab the other stuff that it needs. So pure fluix, I think, is in here somewhere. Maybe not, though. If not, then I need to make some. Because, like I said, pure fluix. So what happens is you crush this for the fluix dust. And then the fluix dust, you turn into the seed. You get 2, and then that can turn into pure fluix. So as you can see from that, each one of the regular fluix crystals gets you 2 pure fluix, right? So that's definitely going to be what we want to do. You can also just enrich it straight into it if you happen to need the pure fluix for something in particular, but I don't right now, so I'm not going to do that. I won't use all of it for this right now. I'll make, well, I was going to make like 8, but I guess that didn't quite work out. But yeah, so I just need some sand to go with that. Probably need to go get some more sand at some point. So I'm running a little bit low. The sand is really useful for silicon and other things as well. So it's that in the enrichment chamber. Just the seeds. Right? And they don't, JEI is kind of weird about it because I guess this item counts as like a bunch of different items. I don't really know the specifics, but it shows you have to go through like the intermediate steps, but you don't have to do that. You just need to make one. It's one step. Now I want to see where this is going because I didn't think it was in my storage system, so now I'm worried. As long as it just keeps going. So it shouldn't go in there because if it's a servo, it's marked as an output, right? But I want to keep my eye on it in case it ends up... No, because this is a servo too, so it has nowhere to go other than my storage system, I would think. I would hope. So let's keep an eye on it, and then let's just see what else do I need. Yeah, nothing I don't have, so super cheap, super easy. I'm just going to head upstairs because... But no, I don't have the pure fluix in here, do I? I would see it. It's like really hard to miss. No, there's no pure fluix anywhere in there. So where are you going? Are you going to get rejected out of the storage system? If you turn down there, but it's not even connected. Yeah, it has a servo. So, again, you know, like I mentioned earlier, if anybody has a deeper understanding of how the storage drawers and the item ducts interact, that can very easily explain what's going on here. I would love to hear it. They did just go straight in there. I wonder, do they just fill up empty drawers? They must fill up empty drawers. Look. Okay, well, that explains it. I didn't realize they did that, though. I guess good? Maybe that's good? I don't know. I don't know if I like it, but I do actually want this. It's better than having them. Well, I don't know. There's probably some way to make them not do that, but I don't want to make them not do that, so I will let it keep going the way it is. These are done already, which is great. And let's get the first of possibly many. Definitely many. Because I know you make like these big cool structures with ME controllers, and then you have more channels or some such thing. I never really did fully wrap my head around AE2, but who really has, right? So there it is, the ME controller. And now, I guess I need to figure out where I want to put all the AE2 stuff, right? Like upstairs would be good. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but okay, let's have a look at this because this seems important. Applied Energistics, very powerful mod. Wrap your head around. Well, there you go. Speaking of which, so channels, each machine uses 1 channel. Cables transfer 8 channels. Smart cables show how many channels they're transferring. Dense cables, 32. Some A2 parts cannot connect directly to dense cables. That's fine. Wait. Import and export and storage buses can't connect directly to dense cables? I could have sworn they could. Maybe that's new. I don't know. Not a huge deal anyway. Channels transfer power to each AE2 machine. So you don't have to do that separately, right? Quartz fiber transfers power only. Channels don't come for free. So 8 channels total without a controller. And then each controller, I think, is 32 channels, right? So to be able to autocraft, yeah. How many controller blocks next to each other? Yeah, edges of a cube. The ME controllers, when they're laid out like that, look very cool. But yeah, and then so the P2P tunnels, ME Quantum Ring is totally new to me, but I know the P2P channels, like, yeah, they basically just compress 32 channels into one, and then you carry the P2P signal on a cable, and then you can demodulate it, I guess, basically, right? And then you have them continuing on the other side. So they're really cool. 8 P2P channels aren't enough. I mean, we're not going to get to that point until much later, right? A quantum ring multi-block. That sounds like a much, much, much later thing, right? Blowing up an AE2 singularity. Like, I don't think we're there yet. 2 separate systems is handy. Yeah, I mean, sure. Interesting. But I mean, the controllers are so free. I wonder if there's like an advantage to using a system without a controller other than you don't have to make a controller. But the controllers are free. Like, do they have to be powered if there's no controller? Maybe they don't. Annihilation planes don't need to be formatted if they're part of a subnet. Useful for living rock automation. Okay, maybe that'll be useful to keep in mind. And the Discord server link there, which I do use. It's helpful sometimes. Not all of the time, but definitely some of the time. I mean, they're not bad or anything. It's just quite often, you know, you'll just get ignored because I assume because nobody knows the answer to your to whatever stupid ass question I happen to be asking at the time. All right, so yeah, this all looks done. So now let's make a bunch of these. Yeah, pure Certus. This is a lot easier to come by. So I'm just gonna go ahead and why this? Why is that happening? Where are the rest of these going? Why is that happening? Oh, man. Oh, that's kind of worrying. I didn't know hoppers did that. They're not even connected. I guess this is acting as a chest. Yeah. It makes sense why it's doing that. I just wish it wasn't. Sorry, I got a spam phone call there. So I'll try my best to cut that out and leave everything smooth. But anyway, yeah, I didn't realize hoppers did that, but it makes sense that they do. But I wish they didn't. If there was a way, I mean, I could just stagger them, right? I could just stagger them. No, that's really stupid. Is it though? Is that stupid or is it genius? Now that I'm thinking, I think it might be genius. Because then the hoppers only ever have something above them. I'm going to stagger them. I was going to set up like chests and something different, but I'm thinking this is the move here. So I would have to have one here and then one here and then one here. So that has to move. And then the hoppers would just go like this, and then the hoppers, these have no chance of overlapping at this point, correct? Because how could they? Because there's nothing above them, right? And then these just need to be set up the same way as before. I just need to make sure nothing is like connected to itself that's not supposed to be. I mean, it's going to take up a lot more horizontal room, but that's fine. Nobody ever complained too much about that, I don't think. And then you can actually just still be connected there. You just, as long as these are all outputs, it'll be fine, right? I drop the servo down here, didn't I? Yep. I sure did. Okay. What the hell? And not that. So then, yeah, the only output of this whole system is up there. Okay, so this should work. That should work. And now, so that was goal. We'll have this be the Certus one again, and we'll have this one be the engineering one again. And then that's good, right? That's good. That's good. Now it'll work just the same as it did before. If I was gonna, maybe I could like compress this a little bit if I wanted to have it like out of the wall more, you know what I mean? But I think this is fine the way it is. I could even have them all going at the same time, couldn't I? I don't have any reason why not. I just need some more silicon for that. I probably can't put, yeah, that just took them out of it. Nice going. So I could, well no, that has to go in there. Yeah, I mean, I could throw chests on here to put intermediates in, but I really don't think that's worth it. I can just kind of keep them on me, and, you know, it's only a handful, so does it really matter too much? Now these, interestingly, these now are not getting sucked out, despite the fact that the pure Certus did, even though they weren't in the system. So I wonder now if I put these in the system, are they going to start getting sucked out, or is there another reason that they weren't? And it looks like that is the reason that they weren't, so I wonder why those wouldn't get sucked out to put into an empty drawer, and the pure fluics did. Also, this is the exact same spot as the steel drawer was earlier that weren't getting sucked out at all, and I assumed because it started working when I moved it that it was because of distance, but obviously it's not, because these got automatically put in here. I really don't know what's up with any of this. I thought I did, but I definitely don't. So again, for like a third time, if anybody knows what's really up with that, please, by all means, let me know. So that wants me to make a P2P tunnel. I need some of these cores, right? Formation core, annihilation core. So these I need a lot of. Black quartz is actually something that I don't have any of right now. I have the ore, but I've never actually processed it. So I guess I'll get on that. I guess I just have to double it in the crusher or enrichment chamber, which is easy enough. I think I'll just go ahead and do it in the crusher, honestly just to not deal with the pipes at this point, because the pipes are being disagreeable. I don't know. Oh, so is this, I guess. I guess no food for me. Well. So yeah, so black quartz for the annihilation ones, and then these just get used for various things, right? Annihilation planes, obviously, but then import, and I guess the other ones are probably for export, right? And also some other stuff like the terminal. Crafting terminal, I know is a big thing that I'm gonna need. Conversion monitor, export bus, yeah, so I'm going to need a bunch of these. Molecular assembler I'm going to need plenty of later on, but it looks like these are not actually that too annoying of a craft, but it's a little bit down the line because I don't think I can make the electrical steel yet. I think auto crafting from AE2 is meant to be a pretty late game thing in this mod pack anyway. I mean, I could make it now, but there's probably other stuff to do with the auto crafting that I can't quite do yet, so I guess I didn't promise anything, but we didn't quite get there with the auto crafting this episode, but at this point it feels like next time it's going to be inevitable. So I will promise that this time that next episode we will get an ME2 storage system set up. But for now, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.